Hello，大家好，我是宅君，欢迎回到天国降临。
Good day to you.
Are you the one who played dice with Lord Capon?
Played and won, lad. Fine noble he may be, but he can no more throw dice than I can read Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you won from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback. Had quite a lot to say.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, and no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special, all shiny and whatnot.
Did you know where this fellow was heading?
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. That's all I need to know.
After something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
And how am I supposed to recognise the killer?
Ask around. I don't reckon anyone will admit to stabbing him in his sleep, but you might pick up some clue. You could have a look around for that necklace. Now that I think of it, they stole other valuables from him too.
Silver is silver, though. I won't recognise anything. Didn't he have something unique? A signet ring or chain or...
No, not that I can... Oh yes, he did. Dice. He had a set of dice made specially in Prague. It was his pride and joy. They were red and gold, bright and shiny. Not the kind of thing you'd overlook.
What can you tell me about Alphonse? So they don't catch me out if they start asking questions.
Indeed. A few details should suffice. He was from Slani, but lived in Prague the last few years.
Yeah, he sounds like a man of the world, but I've never even been to Prague. I'm not sure I can fool them.
You can always change the subject. He was an ardent dice player, God forgive him.
What do you know about the brigands in that camp?
Actually, they're not just ordinary bandits. They came here in the hope they'd have a better...
Why don't you ask some of the local lords for help?
There's nothing I'd like to see more than a lot of them strung up. Only I have a task that conflicts with that. And as for the custodian, I'm pretty sure Sir Sebastian is in league with Earhart.
What was the purpose of Sir Alphonse's negotiation?
Look, Henry, you'd best avoid that subject if at all possible.
It'll be a bit hard to avoid that, since it was supposed to be the entire purpose of his visit.
True. Well, Alphonse was supposed to talk Earhart into moving his robbing raids towards Benishov, especially holding up merchants' wagons heading for Prague. In return, he was to offer a reward of up to 12,000 groschen and safe haven in Pilgrims.
I see. So you work for someone in Pilgrims?
No, neither Pilgrims nor Benishov, nor Vlachim for that matter. It's a bit complicated. Damn politics.
Is there anything else I should watch out for while passing myself off as Alphonse?
The main thing is to look and sound like a noble, not a peasant. A commoner. So dress the part. No rags or rusty iron.
My word, the whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
I'll help you. I'll have to go there to look for the necklace anyway.
Thanks 1,000-fold. And for the love of God, don't get caught. I'd never forgive myself if another man...
I'll bear that in mind. Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewellery, even his boots.
God's name is he up?
Someone was searching for something here. Were they out to rob him of everything he had? Or something in particular? Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here? Would I be right in assuming this is the encampment of Sir Earhart, Baron Bielewitz?
You must be Sir Alphonse, eh? All the way from Prague, eh?
Prague, yes, quite. But I travelled via Guren, thinking it the less hazardous route, comparatively.
Oh, aye. The roads ain't safe at all these days. There's all sorts of rabble.
Indeed, indeed, I concur. One must be wary, well, cautious even, when travelling.
Right then, but you'll have to wait a while. Sir Earhart is busy at the moment.
No matter, I shall just,
But it's easy to pass the time here. There's always a dice game going on, with nice things being wagered. I had my eye on a fine pair of gauntlets, and some old piece of jewellery.
Jewellery, you say?
That's right. Just go and see old Blaha, the fellow sitting at that table there. He can read, write, and do some...
Thank you. I may well do that.
Should have stayed home.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What can I tell you? Although, I have to say, since the Baron took to robbing, there's not
And what did he do before that?
what every landed noble does. He still had some estates and income from...
How did you find this place?
That was my doing. I heard from a scribe about some ownership feud that...
Oh, that's a shame. No doubt it was once a fine place.
Aye, the Vega is of fortune, eh? Times are harsh and what have you. How many folk will have no homes to return to? And how...
Amen to that. I was told I could have a game or two here until Sir Earhart has time to see me.
Aye, he's got his hands full at the moment. You must be Sir Alphonse, eh?
Including dice. It has come to my attention that there are interesting things being wagered.
True enough, we've got a fine pair of plate gauntlets, 2 necklaces, one of them's a lovely piece, a good sharp sword, and some other things, I don't remember what. The custom here is if you want to play, You've got to wager something to join.
Far be it from me to disrespect.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
You want to play right away, or...?
Why wait? I'll play now.
No beating around the bush. You'll play against Noggin now. He's not the brightest, and he ain't a good loser.
Rivers of blood and a bloody flood.
Oh, 金色的，是不是你偷的啊？
I just want to eat and sleep and fuck. Fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate and pillage.
4个1，
Wrecking, making
哎
strife, hopefully it is
2000啊
what
2个1， 200。
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing, fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate and pillage. Burning, wrecking, making strife. How sweet it is.
Can you
a
shut up?
lover's life. Yeah,
哦，
I'm gonna get some. What else is there to do?
破6000了。
You're a fucking cheat. Sir, I challenge you to a duel.
I won't take any accusations from you. I accept.
Yeah。赌不赢就说我作弊。这个需要教训一下啊！啊，没了，这么快？
I'll let you go, but the weapon stays here.
Very well. You'll play Berta. He's a man, but they call him that for some reason.
Oh 吼，5个1耶，赢了赢了。下一位，下一位。
You'll play against Maladota. He...
Good scrap.
6个金骰子哎！哦，看犯人就是他了吧？我又赢了。
Can I ask you something?
Ask away.
You're Mladotta, right?
I am. Why'd you ask?
Just curious. This is quite an interesting...
You could put it that way. I ain't been here long, though.
Is that right?
Well, I was lying in wait for this wagoner, see? Because he'd been mouthing off about me, so I figured I'd take all he had for compensation. Anyway, I'm hiding there in the bushes, and I hear this. As soon as he saw me with my weapon drawn, he started screaming bloody murder. And next...
Vexing indeed.
Aye. Anyway, they caught me and took me with them. They figured I was Sir Erhardt's spy, and they wanted me. So, while they were threatening to break me on the wheel, string me up and what have you...
That is quite an entertaining anecdote.
Ain't it just? If it hadn't been for me, the fellas would have run straight into it.
And how are things here?
We ain't allowed to leave. So I've been here the whole time.
That's all.
Then there's Pekuna. He's a local fellow who brings stuff for us. He put up a nice necklace as his wager.
哦，4个6，呼呼。赢着，赢着。
What's your story?
I ain't, true enough. I'm a local. I don't...
And what do you do when they're not here?
Whatever's needed. But being the go-between for them that set up the ambushes...
Can you tell me something about the camp?
This place? It's been here as long as I can remember. I used to... Anyway, one time I had to lie low for a bit, so I came here and ran into...
Why did you have to disappear?
Nothing terrible. Just that I was courting this one girl, only her old...
I'll leave you to it. How did I do? Have I won?
Well now, Sir Alphonse, you took 'em all by storm. Here's the key to the prize.
Thank you kindly.
找到了。
No one to rob. Fucking boring. What's this? You're having me on.
Nah, it's true. So now it's your turn. What did you do before?
Well, I made candles for a monastery.
What's going on here anyway?
Haven't you ever been in the camp of a merry band of robbers?
Never quite this merry, to tell the truth.
They've got their loot, and now they want some fun. Booze, dice, and women. I'm the only girl here.
Well, they seem very fond of their dice, all right.
Aye, they always play the same way. Every player bets his most valuable piece of loot. Although it's a long time since anyone got killed over it. You do that, handsome. It'd be a shame to spoil that pretty face.
So hungry
I have good news for you, Sir Anselm. I know who killed your friend. Who was it? It was Mladotta, one of the brigands.
How did you find out?
From the dice.
All right. I'll take care of it from here. And I owe you for helping me. Here, Henry, take this. I'm sorry I don't have more on me. But if you're ever in Prague, come and look me up, and I'll see you're well taken care of.
It's been a pleasure, Sir Anselm. Godspeed.
520哎。
Got that necklace?
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot! Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole Secret Admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me.
See you later.
还要把那个项链给他哎，3200哎，哦。
Greetings. What do you need? God be with you.
I delivered the things as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything. She was wearing the necklace this morning as I asked in the letter.
So you'll go to the rendezvous with her?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually. Meanwhile, you'll get a potion for me.
I thought you didn't believe in witches' brews.
This is no witch's brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called Musk of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Sasau who sells it and he guarantees its success.
Musk of Infinite Allure? Sounds irresistible. All right, I'll try and get it for you.
I'm sure I can rely on you. Here's some coin for your costs.
See you later.
Put a smile on your face.
I know you.
What?
Of course, my dream. You were in a boat made of bone.
Good men, good wives.
Tell me about this dream.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my...
Then I'm in luck.
On the contrary, what's your name? Henry. So, Henry, are you ready to become my apprentice?
First, tell me, who are you?
Me? I am an unworthy, without home or kin, ointments, relics.
What exactly does it entail?
A lot of work and strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine.
That's a pretty challenging task.
That's why God has sent you.
No, I definitely don't want to be your apprentice.
A shame. But perhaps Providence shall...
I've heard you know of some irresistibility potion.
Ah, naturally. Musk of Inf...
Moses?
How do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert?
Yeah, so it would seem.
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold. But since you ask, how about this much?
Lean, fatty, marbled, meats of all
What? That much?
kinds.
You're a crook.
As King Solomon said, honesty is for those who can afford it. If you like, I can mix the elixir for you. This is a matter that
Come right
demands
up.
experience
Your eyes
and
your
knowledge.
But to your
It's hard
apprentice,
to
you can,
resist.
right?
You're
See,
not
you read my
underage
mind.
anyway.
I changed my mind.
Wonderful! Oh, glorious day!
So, how do you plan to start training?
With a test of your practical skill.
Oh.
I have my eye on 3
Meat,
rare
bun,
objects.
veal, beef, and
Go
chicken.
on.
First, I need a tooth of Saint Procopius.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. About that tooth.
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery. And it just so happens,
Good wives, come have a
How
look.
did you find out
Don't
he...
be shy.
as it
You'll
happens,
never see such.
You must be that lucky fellow everyone's talking about.
Lady Luck has been good to me lately.
People say that you get help from a lucky...
Is that not allowed?
No, it is. It just interests me.
Why?
Hand over that cat paw,
Or what?
or I'm going to start breaking some limbs, and they won't belong to a cat.
You know what? Go and yell at someone else, you mongrel.
I could use a paw like that myself.
Then go to the knacker. I'm sure he'll get you one.
I'll buy it from you.
You want to buy my cat paw? You're joking.
No, I'm not. I'll buy it. How much do you want for it? What about this?
More. See? In the end, it brought me more luck than I thought.
I need a skilled swordsmith in Pribyslavitz who'll put good, strong steel in my men's hands.
What? Give up my shop here to move to some ruins in the woods? Trade's not so great right now, true.
You're looking at it all wrong. You should see it as an investment in a better future. How many smiths are there here in Sasau alone? In Pribyslavitz, you be the one and only. And the village is growing and growing, so there'll be fat profits to be had.
I can see you're an enterprising young man. All right, I'll do it. Take care.
It doesn't look good.
What? What are you talking about?
Your tooth. I bet it hurts a lot, doesn't it?
How do you know about that?
As a practitioner of the healing arts, I recognise the signs of a sick tooth.
You're a physician?
Isn't that what I said? And if I can give you some advice, you should have it removed. There's a blacksmith down in the town.
No. There's no way I'm putting myself in the hands of that butcher.
I understand. But look here. I know...
You do that?
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
You don't have to be embarrassed.
I know, but even...
Let's go then. Yeah!
Jesus. It's going to be really painful, isn't it?
Don't worry. It will hurt a little, but then you'll feel relieved. You'll see.
If you say so.
To look for those items you wanted.
Splendid!
The tooth of layman Procopius?
It isn't. But then again, one...
I suppose not.
Calm now, don't exaggerate.
One cat paw for luck?
Marvelous! Let's just hope it brings us luck as...
A branch from a blessed topping out.
Excellent!
I had to shoot it down.
Watch out for this man. He's a regular William Tell.
Well...
So, we've got all that sort...
So, about my reward.
Not so fast, young man. There's one more thing. It's rather complicated and,
What thing?
a shroud.
A shroud?
Yes!
I'm just supposed to take a dead person?
Christ, no. I need a burial shroud.
And does it matter who I take?
It needs to be someone who lived an honest life. And I...
Right.
His family is waiting for the funeral.
And who was this locator?
I know only a little, but according to the locals, he was an honorable man.
Who's the man who died? The one who's lying in the church?
Oh, that was old Lucotta.
And how did he make a living?
He was a butcher of some renown in...
Was he a local?
Oh, no. We weren't too keen on him at first, but we soon realised he was a decent man.
It's a sad loss.
His wife, Lucy, passed, but he's left 2 sons behind.
What are his sons like?
Oh, they're sturdy men. Sturdy. Mark's are more open, but don't make fun of him.
Thank you. My condolences.
Thank you.
I've come to pay my last respects to a dear relative.
Have you? I've never seen you before.
I believe I'm your cousin. I knew your father from Kuttenberg and...
I knew it! You lying wretch! Don't...
My condolences.
Thank you.
I've come to pay my last respects to a dear relative.
Have you?
Unlike yours, my father never left Vlashim. He must have told you where our family comes from.
He never talked about him much. They didn't see eye to eye.
You're right. Bad blood. For a long time, I didn't know my father had a brother.
So then you know my father also married a woman from Vlashim.
Of course. I've heard only good things about Lucy to this day.
Good God, it's true. You are my cousin.
I certainly am.
Then go ahead. Pay your respects to my father. I'm sure he'd be pleased. You're welcome to come to the funeral. And come and see us at home too.
That's very kind, but I'll have to return to Vlashim soon. That's why I came straight here.
See you later.
Lord Almighty, be quiet! Not here! You don't want everyone to see it, do you? Wait for me at my place. God be with you.
I have the shroud for you.
Have you now? Good work.
Yes, well, it wasn't easy.
I'm sure. That's also why...
That's where he lives! Let's teach him a lesson!
He's inside! I saw him go
Fuck!
in!
Henry! Delay them! What? How? There's a reward for you in the trunk. I'll see you in the next go.
Come on! Break it down!
Do it!
What are you doing here?
He swindled me, too. I came here to throw his potions in his face, but it looks like he hasn't been home for a while. He probably ran away before his trickery could catch up with him.
Bastard! Either way, he'd better not show his face in this town again. Let's go!
Well, well, who have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returned.
Let me guess. You saw it in it?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. That next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry.
I'd like to try your fortitude. About that recipe.
Yes, you want to buy it?
Never mind.
As you will.
So what is it you want from me now?
Oh, my dear apprentice, they say they don't trust. Does this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods. And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sasau. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement to...
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity...
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave.
Yeah, I saw something like that once.
Don't make light of such things.
Chop its head off and sprinkle...
You are my trained apprentice, but the ignorant villain...
How do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sasau.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
I'll have nothing to do with it. Give the...
But you're my one and only apprentice. God be with you.
What's this about the revenant?
I knew you wouldn't...
I'll need a spade then.
Yes. Dig it up and remove the remains.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Keep them. Human remains are always had.
Great. And how do we spread the word of this revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Yet,
and what am I to tell this gossip?
all you have to do is casually...
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left. On the rumor-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there.
So, dig up the grave.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them.
I might have known any task for Capon would turn into some insane escapade. Yeah! God be with you, good wife. Has something happened here?
Heavens no. It's quiet here.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sass.
How would you know it's empty? Unless it was dug up.
Oh, it's dug up, all right. Freshly. And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Lord in heaven. What in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that.
I don't like to say. It's...
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this...
No one wanted to work with him, or what?
Oh.
Well, I can understand that. It's always better to work for yourself.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet.
Well, I can understand him.
If we'd known how badly off they was...
And did he get caught?
Well, at first it was just a few eggs.
And I suppose he was harshly punished.
Even then he didn't let on why he was doing it.
So justice was done.
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out, he'd never get any...
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him. And more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No, no. It was the mills of God turning slow...
I'm sorry to hear that.
True, lad.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day, he popped... Don't ask me that, lad.
Come now, good wife. You can't leave the story unfinished.
I said no. Will you let it lie?
I know who was buried in that grave. A young charcoal burner.
So begins the
Oh, don't start. What devil? I'm trying to tell you. Ugh. He was from Ledechko. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but he couldn't
pride drove him from the straight and narrow path.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed...
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the charcoal burner cursed God. He came back as a revenant to vent his rage at God.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, the question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the...
What about his wife and child? No doubt he'd want to avenge their death.
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
And when his love... Nothing too original. But it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking...
No problem. There's a certain potion that will do the trick easily.
He was stealing food from people, right?
We should steal from people? Disgraceful. Have you no shame?
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops. Like the... They would, if I...
And their nourishment he turned into...
The gossip mentioned the butcher.
And the revenant...
How's that?
Spoiled meat is a classic example.
I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher's.
But make sure it's the same kind of meat.
He cursed God. They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary.
That's it! If folks start losing their rosary...
You want me to steal rosaries?
Or just exchange them.
For what?
For nothing.
Great.
So, switch eggs for charcoal, switch... I hope so. Of course, if you come up with...
What if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't. Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over.
Sure. I'll keep my head down. And how would I know if I've succeeded?
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a... Off you go and raise hell.
But whatever he did, don't you think he deserves some peace?
Dear Henry...
Well, he certainly won't have any as long as I'm carrying his boat.
Ah, but you know who those remains could help.
Help? Who? How?
Me, of course. And I'd pay you a nice price for a revenant.
But there is no revenant.
Not yet.
All right. I'll sell them to you.
Revenant bones. They'll be very useful indeed. Take care.
And I'll need lots of it if I'm to switch it all. Just that now.
Take care.
成功了，真麻烦。
So, how am I doing so far?
Good work, Henry. The whole village is shaking in its boots.
Ugh, I'm glad to hear it.
Half the village is without rosaries. Someone even wanted to buy one from me.
And did you sell it?
I don't trade in such banal goods.
I didn't know a cat's paw was good.
Henry, all the goods I have are good. Everyone is talking about how all the butcher's meat went off after being touched by...
What, does this look like the hand of evil to you?
The baths are closed. No one will tell you why.
So, the job is done, eh?
Not quite.
But you just said the whole village is shaking with fear.
The whole village, but...
Well, surely that doesn't matter.
That's what I thought too. He needs shaking up.
But if he's not been scared yet, what more can I...
Well, when he's not hanging around here...
Yeah, I bet he would.
Exactly. And once he's there...
Well...
It's best to be well prepared.
The gossip woman?
Naturally. And Henry, before we get to that grave, the more terrified they are... See you later.
Good wife.
You're still here, lad? I thought you'd have fled by now.
Fled?
Because there's a revenant on the prowl.
Ah, that. But I heard there's one brave lad who's not afraid.
You mean Felix?
Well, I don't know what his name is, but he's always arguing in the tavern that there's no revenant.
That's him. The fool doesn't believe what's going on under his own nose. He hasn't the sense he was born with.
Is he brave or just stupid? Surely he's afraid of something.
I couldn't tell you. But if he's to be believed, he doesn't fear the...
Do you believe him?
Well, it's true he never...
What pair?
Two mates of his.
But he was alone in the tavern.
Aye, they're not locals, but out...
He even said he'd spend the night at the graveside.
Aye, all talk and no way.
Who are these two fellas?
They're not bad lads, but they're no heroes, that's for sure.
How's that?
Them two have their fears, but then who doesn't?
What are they afraid of?
The first one wouldn't even go into the woods alone.
Yeah.
He got lost in the forest as a young lad.
A village boy? Scared of the woods?
You're not very smart, are you?
Why'd you say that?
Oh, never.
What about the other one?
He's afraid.
Why?
His own father burned him. God.
Poor lad. That's a terrible...
My words.
Oh, it's been an interesting chat.
May the Lord watch over you.
This brave fella, Felix his name is, if we can get him to spend the night at the grave, he won't be...
Like he's afraid to be alone. So, if we could get him there...
maybe, maybe not.
That's easy. Only, we have to get...
One of them is afraid of wild animals.
I see.
He's afraid of fire, but I doubt...
Well, we'll think of something.
How, though?
Haven't you learned anything from me?
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Any particular one, Master?
The most frightening one, of course.
And how am I supposed to recognise him?
By his bark, naturally. Can't you hear him?
That's a dog.
Either that or Satan in the guise of a beast.
All right. And what do I do with him?
Have a conversation with him and...
Yeah, great idea.
Good luck, then.
This 这是狗的叫声，还有一个手哎。
Come on then, bark. What a beast you are. All right, let's see. Ruff. 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 Boo. 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 That's it. And now I'm officially the village idiot.
So, how did you get on?
I found that mutt. Although from the noises it made, you'd hardly guess it was a dog.
So you've learned to bark?
I have, Master.
So bark.
Bark? I'll give you bark.
Easy, easy. Down, boy.
But what if it's not enough?
Ah, ye of little faith.
If we want to have him there on his own, I could always knock the other two out.
And what if he finds them unconscious?
I can always haul them off somewhere he won't find them.
Just make sure you don't botch it, Henry.
Don't worry.
Ah, yes, an oil lamp. Precisely. Isn't
A marvellous invention, I grant you.
That's the clever part. I've hung a lamp like this over the Revenant's grave.
Well, that could work. Only
what?
how can you be sure I'll manage to shoot it down?
I believe in you, Henry. You're my apprentice.
Right, I almost forgot.
Anyway, you can practice.
Aye, I'll give it a go.
Then you just have to goad our Felix in...
But what if he doesn't fall for it?
Refusing would ruin his credibility.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Good. Don't delay, though.
I've heard there's a revenant haunting these parts.
Ah, you don't want to believe...
Well, it's not true, then.
Of course not. It's just a lot of fairy tales.
You're kind of sure of yourself, aren't you?
That I am. And what's it to you?
Nothing. It's just that, well, bold talk doesn't prove anything.
Are you saying I'm lying?
I'm saying I don't think you have the balls to back up your talk.
If it'll shut you up, I'll gladly sleep by the grave.
That I would love to see. So when are you going to do it?
Just as soon as I can in the evening.
And now you can... Shh! Quiet, Henry. You'll give us away.
Sorry. What's that you're wearing?
What do you think it is?
I don't know, some new fashion?
It's my Revenant costume, of course.
My apologies, Master, for not recognising it immediately.
You obviously still have a lot to learn.
So, did they come?
Yes, all three. They're camping at the...
Right. I'll have time to get haunting then. Where do I start?
I'll leave that up to you. The main thing is to scare off the two cronies first.
So I'll scare one off with the lamp?
Yes, just make sure no one sees you shooting.
And the other one with fearsome...
That will probably take a few...
Let him work up an appetite for more, so to speak.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
I won't, but... if they do...
Then you'd better vanish like a wisp of smoke.
And what will you be doing?
I'll wait somewhere out of the way for a while.
All right.
Man, I thought you had more sense.
Mother of God! Hey, what was that? A wolf? No, it can't be a wolf. But what? Christ, that noise again. What the... probably nothing. Oh, no, not again. No, please, God, no. I can't stand this. No, no, please, no. They're everywhere. They'll devour me. Jesus Christ, I've got to get away from here.
Roar! 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 Roar!
What are you?
I didn't do anything.
成功了。
That was something.
How did you like that, eh?
Wonderful. I haven't had so much fun since I dressed up as the Pope.
Did you see him run? Like all the demons of hell were on their heels.
One was quite enough, evidently.
So what now?
Now I just wait for my customers to turn up. Come and see me tomorrow before noon, and you'll get your well-earned reward. Ah, my dear apprentice, how happy I am to see you.
So, it all worked out then?
Like a dream. I didn't sell half as much in Sasau.
That's good news. Now, about that thing you promised me.
Your well-deserved reward, certainly. Here you have it. Here's something extra for you. I sold a lot more than I expected, and I think it's all thanks to you.
What will you do now?
I could go now. I've coin enough, but I'll wait a while before moving on.
Why? I thought you didn't want to stay too close to Sasau for long.
But what if you needed my help?
Indeed. How could I forget all you've done for me? Well, at least I'll know where to find you.
How are you, Henry?
I got you that potion from the charlatan.
What charlatan? He's a man of learning who even cured the Pope of impotence. But thanks, Henry. I really appreciate your help. Once I drink this potion, every woman will faint at my feet. But I'm only interested in one. The fairest creature on God's green earth.
Yeah, the butcher's daughter, I know. And then what?
A rendezvous. She and I, under the cloak of night. And you shall be my herald of exalted words. You will hide and prompt me from a book of poetry.
I'll do what?
Here's a book of poems. I'll need a little time to get ready. Meanwhile, you can learn some poems off by heart. You'll prompt me.
Learn poetry? Me? That sounds... well, not exactly...
Stop wasting time and get to it. Come back to me in a couple of hours. I have to get dressed up and groomed, and it'll take a while before the potion takes effect. Good luck, then. Are you deaf?
What's going on out there?
Has something happened?
Ready, Sir Hans?
Henry, something's gone wrong.
Open up. I'm not going to talk to the door.
Potion tasted rather odd, and now I've a feeling my face is broken out. How do I look?
No offence, sir, but you gave me quite a fright. It looks as though you've slept with your head inside a wasp's nest.
God's holy breeches, I knew it! And it's nearly time for my rendezvous with Carolina. What am I going to do?
You just sit tight, and I'll go and find you some antidote.
All right. But hurry, Henry. I can't wait any longer.
The best cure for this kind of thing is marigold decoction. I can get you that right away. I've got a remedy for you.
About time. Give it here. As soon as I'm healed, we'll go. It's gone. I'm as gorgeous as before. Let's go.
Hey, where's your torch? You can't walk around here in the... Put that weapon away, damn it. Damn.
Tell me, Henry, how many girls have you had in your life? If you've had any at all, that is.
Well, there's been a few, but I'm sure I can't compare with you.
Ha! Very true. One day plays will be written about my amorous adventures.
Comedies or tragedies?
That might depend on how things go tonight. There's another very pretty girl living in this house here, but she's already got a suitor.
Since when has that ever bothered you?
Since the time her fellow threw me headfirst into a dung heap and kicked my arse for good measure.
It seems your future subjects don't hesitate to take a stick to you when it comes to minding a womenfolk.
I doubt he would have done it if he recognised me. I was, incognito. Almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise you might scare her off. Hide, Henry. Time to get started.
How do you know it's her who will come out and not someone else?
She got the letter and necklace, didn't she? She knows that that is, her secret admirer is coming.
And what am I supposed to do?
What do you think? Don't prompt me from that book of poetry.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Gentle night, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long. Without her words to still my breast, who shall set my soul to rest?
Gentle night, why linger on? I earned this from my love so long. Whip out your worthy silky breasts. Who shall suck my salty bits?
No! To have lips and yet kiss not is like leaving grain to rot. To love without consummating is like unsown fields in the spring.
To have lips and yet kiss not is like a leaking chamber pot. To love without constant mating is like nuns all feel in the spring.
What on earth are you saying?
What's that hissing?
It's a feral goose here in the bushes.
Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I long to see my love again. O gentle sir, be of good cheer. I shall not cling to another dear.
Landlord, let me not wait in vain. I long to sing and laugh again. O gentle sir, get off your chair. I shall not bring you another beer.
Jesus, Henry! What kind of yokel nonsense are you babbling?
Me? You're the one who's babbling?
You're an odd one.
I've never heard such peculiar poetry in my life. Where on earth did you come up with it?
Coward, say something. How did you like it, dearest?
Ah, how tender you are.
Father is coming! Hide!
Who's that talking? If it's some Danny again, I'll gut with my Philistine knife.
I didn't hear anyone.
Did you hear what he said? Oh, I have a bad feeling about this, Hans. I think we should...
Are you still there?
Still here, my love. How could I have apart from you?
Father's coming! He'll kill you!
He will not. Because it'll never cross his mind where I'll be. Henry, it's time for me to claim my prize. Whatever happens, cover my back. There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor. Buy me time. You got some explaining to do, you bastard.
What are you after? You bastard sneaking around an honest citizen's house in the dark?
I went to mourn over the grave of my great-grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Then what are you doing right beneath my window, eh?
No, the question is, why are you trampling on great-granny's grave, eh?
Enough of your horse shit. One more word, and I'll have you.
You're really keen.
How could I not, my dear?
Not so fast, Prince Charming. But, since you're here...
Hey, what was that?
What was what?
That noise. I'm sure I heard a strange noise.
We're here in the cemetery. Maybe restless spirits, what do you reckon?
I'd swear it came from the window of my own house.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
Someone's been creeping around after my daughter. I come out, and I find you here. Quite a coincidence, eh? So, out with the truth.
You're quite mistaken. I've never laid eyes on your daughter, and if she looks anything like you, I'd rather keep it that way.
Why, you fucking...
There's a lace here. Untie it.
Don't try to make a fool of me. I heard it clearly. What was that?
Are you all right? It seems to me you're hearing things other folk can't hear. That's not good.
You're saying I'm hearing voices in my head?
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. St. Euphrosyne of Polotsk heard voices too, and she founded a monastery and churches and things.
I heard voices too. Well, could have been voices. I wouldn't swear to it though.
Look, fellas, I was standing right here and I didn't hear a thing. Do you take me for a madman?
Whatever you are, I want to know what you're doing under my daughter's window and who was talking to her. I heard it clear as day.
Good neighbour, it can't be denied that old age dulls a man's ears. I'm here alone, praying for the souls of the good people.
That voice sounded different to yours, though. But where did he get to? You must have seen him. Unless you're covering for him.
Yes. Oh. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Jasem skutni hori kodelnikov syn.
What the fuck are you playing at? My patience is wearing thin.
Jasem skutni hori kodelnikov syn.
Jesus, stop your damn screeching.
What a lovely evening we're having. Nice and mild, eh? Seems to me it was hotter this time last year, don't you think?
I swear I'll go mad if I have to listen to another word from you. Lads, shut this fucker up. You'll get the hiding of your life.
What's the matter? Lost your balls?
哦，警察打人啊！警察！
Come here, lily liver.
Shit!
Fuck it!
哦，这么硬！哦，快跑！快跑！
Bring it on!
Ha! I knew it. Now I've got you, you lecture. No, a bird flew in through the back. The only bird here is you, and you'll fly straight out the way you came in.
How did it go with Carolina, Sans?
Henry, it was the most wonderful night of my life. She was completely entranced by my courting. I hardly had to touch her, and she melted in my arms. And then she took me to paradise. It was glorious. It was sublime. Thanks, in part, to you, my faithful henchman and messenger of love. You've earned your reward.
It was an honour, Sir Hans. When are you going to see her again?
Oh, I'm not going to see her again. All beautiful things must come to an end, and, after all, I am a nobleman, and she is the butcher's daughter.
Well, that's how it ends, with the love of your life. After the secret gifts, the letters, the intrigues, reciting poetry in the moonlight.
My eloquence was wasted on her, Henry. Imagine, the silly cow couldn't even read. She returned the letter to me unopened. Here's the letter, Henry. Read it. At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent. Read and learn from a poet. Take care.
好，那我们今天这期影片呢就先到这边，感谢各位的收看，我们下期见，拜拜。